Good evening and welcome to the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Weekly Digital Fusion Net. I think we had a slight technical difficulty with the room there, but I restarted it and a bunch of nodes appeared, so hopefully we're good to go. Alright, this is N4NT. My name is Adam. I'm net control for this evening's net. This net meets each Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, or at the conclusion of our analog net, should it run past 9:30, in the Bristol Amateur Radio Club Fusion Room, 61243. The Mears Room, 40843, will serve as a backup should the Bristol room be down at net time. Whenever possible, recordings of this net are live to the Bristol Amateur Radio Club's YouTube page, or actually I should say are broadcast live and then uploaded to the YouTube page, which we're doing tonight. And we also run a net logger session, which really helps in keeping up with the who you're passing your check-in off to. And that is available for free download at netlogger.org. We also have a website with net information on it at qsl.net/TCME for Tri-Cities Mountain Empire. This net emanates from the Tri-Cities area consisting of counties in northeast Tennessee and the Mountain Empire of southwest Virginia. All amateurs are welcome to check in. In a moment, we'll begin taking check-ins. Just a few reminders with digital radio procedure. Make sure you key up and hold the mic for a couple seconds before speaking. That way it doesn't chop off your transmission. Gives all the nodes that are connected and systems connected time to kick in. When checking in, give your name, call, and location, and advise if you're going to be in and out. So if you just check in with your name, call, and location, we will automatically come back to you for comments. If you say you're in and out, we will acknowledge your check-in and pass over you for the comment round, unless you decide later you want to make some comments, which is certainly welcome. All right, at this time, we'll now begin taking check-in.
Hotel Papa Yankee, in and out. Hey, control, this is Papa Tango, Billy, Charleston, West Virginia, in and out, please, sir. Net control. Kilo 1, Whiskey, Victor, Alpha. Dave in Clarksburg, West Virginia.
Net control, please check in Kilo 8, Romeo Tango, Tim in Culloden, West Virginia. No comments for the net this evening.
N9YBK, Chicago Med, checking in and out.
Net control, this is AV8RL, Tom in Scott Depot, West Virginia, checking in.
Net control, this is WD8L, Bill in Hurricane, West Virginia.
Check in WW8RT, Whiskey 8, Romeo Tango, Steve in Milton, West Virginia, in and out.
Net control, please check in Kilo Bravo 8, Zulu India Oscar, Scott, Cross Lane. No traffic for the net tonight. Net control, please check in KD4, CCO, Dallas, Bristol.
Net control, police. KF4FHY, Kevin, in and out, please.
Net control. Check in Kilo 4 Whiskey November Golf. Rob in Bristol. Kilo Echo 8 Lima Golf Charlie. Check in Eddie. Airplane. I'll be in and out.
All right, let's run through the list here and see who all we've got. I've got a lot of gray on here. The in and outs shade gray on net logger. Actually, it's about even though, but it looked like my hair if I let it grow out was what I was alluding to. Let's see. First we had K4HPY, Robert in Tennessee. Got you in and out. Thanks for checking in, Robert. W4BPT, Bill in West Virginia, in and out. Thank you for checking in, Bill. And then K1WVA, Dave will be back for comments. Kilo 8, Romeo Tango, K8RRT, Tim in West Virginia, in and out. Thanks for checking in. And N9YBK, Chicago, Matt. Thanks for checking in, Matt. Good to have you tonight. And AB8RL and WD8L both checked in for comments later. And then we had Steve, WW8RT, checked in and out. Thanks for checking in, Steve, and got you logged as a contact there on FT8. I think it was when I was on 15 meters today, but I immediately recognized that call when it came up and waited on you to clear your QSO and went after you there. Then we had KB8ZIO, Scott in West Virginia checked in and out. And then KD4CCO checked in. KF4FHY, that's Kevin in Virginia. Got you in and out, Kevin. Thanks for stopping by. And KK4WNG, got you on the list, and KE8LGC, Eddie in West Virginia, checking in and out. So thanks to each one that checked in. And we'll see if there's any more out there before we run through the list for comments. Any other stations, please call.
KB0BXN, Mike in Minnesota. I'm at work tonight, so I'll just say in and out. Net control. Please check in. Whiskey 2 Victor Zulu, Eric in St. Albans, West Virginia. In and out.
You can check in KE0OGD, Kilo Echo 0, Oscar Golf Delta. Jay in Sartell, Minnesota, and I'm in and out.
All right, we picked up KB0VXN, Mike in Minnesota, in and out. Thanks for checking in tonight. W2VZ, Eric in West Virginia, got you in and out, and thanks for checking in. And KE0OGD, Jay in Minnesota, got you in and out. I believe this may be your first check-in, so welcome to the net. And if I missed that with anybody else, also welcome to the net. All right, let's go through let the folks making comments comment and all that good stuff, and we'll see if there's any more out there after that. So normally what we do is we'll give out a net topic, and then I'll run down the list of those that are checked in for comments, so that way you can pass it on to the next check-in. reset there for just a second. All right, I hold in my hand the envelope. As a child of four can plainly see, this envelope has been hermetically sealed. It has been kept in a mayonnaise jar on Funkin' Wagnall's porch since noon today, and no one knows the contents of this envelope. But me, in my mystical and semi-divine way, will ascertain the topic for tonight's net. So let me find my screen that I put that on. All right, tonight's topic is thus. Tell us about your favorite club activities, past or present or both. If you got some things that you used to do once upon a time that you'd like to talk about that no longer happens, or some new things that you've moved on to, we certainly invite you to do that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'll run down the list, and again, listen up. I'll give the name and the call of the person you're going to pass it to. That way, if you forget the call, you can just call them by name. We'll start with me here in a moment. I'm in for NT, Adam, and then I will pass it on to K1 WVA, Dave. Dave, you'll pass it to AB8RL, Tom. Tom, you'll be passing it to WD8L, Bill. And Bill, you'll be passing it to KD4, CCO, Dallas. And Dallas, you'll be passing it to our current tail gunner, which is KK4, WNG, Rob. All right, let me reset, and I'll go ahead with my comments. Well, I could probably go through 2 or 3 of these 3-minute timeout timers with my favorite club activities over the years. So I'll try to do a first and last. I'll start with one of my very first club activities when I was a young teenager and I got my ticket was the Mears Club that I was with, well, still am. We used to be utilized for bike races, as I'm sure a lot of other clubs have in the past. The way we would do it is we had a fellow that coordinated it and have different checkpoints and keep track of how many bicyclists came by us and radio to the next person who the last person was, that kind of thing. So that way we didn't lose anybody along the way. We kind of kept up the accountability for those folks, and I really enjoyed doing that. That was a real fun activity. My parents would take me and drop me off at my spot, and I'd hang out with my HT and my little cooler and do that. And then later on, when I became an EMT, I actually got to kind of do a double duty on one of those. I set up at a first aid station, but also had my 2-meter radio and helped give accountability of the bike racers. And I'll give an honorable mention to Field Day as a favorite club activity. I definitely enjoy that and club meetings because we get together and see everybody in person. And this with what's going on right now, definitely missing that type of stuff. But something else that I have gotten into recently that I didn't do in the past. I wasn't much of a contester in the past. I didn't see a whole lot of point in. A lot of times I'd get on during contests just to try to pick up contacts because the bands were busy. But I didn't really care about keeping score myself. But when I started doing it with a group, like with my club, and we all submitted our scores together and I was able to contribute and work it as a team, that has kind of become one of my newer, more favorite club activities now. So that's my answer to the question tonight. I managed to squeeze it all in without having to reset. So I will now pass it to K1WVA, Dave.
Okay, Adam. Thanks for running the net this evening. This is K1WVA, Dave, located in Clarksburg, West Virginia, where it is a chilly 33 degrees. We had a little bit of snow here today. I don't know what it's doing outside. I haven't looked out for quite a while. Favorite activities? Boy, I'll tell you, it's tough, but I guess Field Day. Our club has been pretty successful, I think, Field Day events. We don't do much contesting. Some of the members do on their own, but not as a club. That's all I've got. So now let's see. I turn it over to AB8RL. Tom in Scott Depot. A little bit south of me, about 100 miles maybe. Pick it up, Tom.
K1 WVA
and the net ABA4L. Very good, and good evening, Adam and everyone on the net this evening. Field day is pretty much a standard yearly activity, but I have to go back, and when you said your favorite activity, I have to go back into my earlier years of amateur radio when the club I belonged to, which was really back in Pennsylvania, not even here in West Virginia, so going back, many years ago, our club had two events that we tried to participate in each year. One, we would set up at a mall, a major shopping mall. But, and back then, up until recently, the malls were very popular, and the exposure to introduce amateur radio was immense. That was a lot of fun. Another event we participated in, which was an awful lot of fun, was a county fair. We were in a spot. We had out antennas and the demonstration of amateur radio at a county fair. Because, it didn't go, 24/7, so you had a chance to go home and rest up and come back the next day. It's a lot of fun and a lot of great exposure to the public operating at a county fair. Everybody was stopping by and was very inquisitive as to what's that. So that's my answers there for the net, and we'll turn it over to Bill in Hurricane WD8L from AB8RL.
This is WD8L, Bill in Hurricane. I haven't been a ham that long. Well, I guess 5-6 years, something like that. I haven't really participated that much. I try to go to the meetings when I can. I've had some health issues, but that's beside the point. Our club, I belong to the same club that Tom belongs to, and we've got a real good club. They participate in everything, just about. I mean, I think our club's really getting to be well known around this part of West Virginia, anyway. And I just enjoy going to the meetings and meeting people, and I've been going to the meetings where we have hold the testing and things, and but I guess that's about it. I don't remember who I'm supposed to pass this on. If you can help me with that.
Yeah, no problem. That'll be KD4CCO from Dallas.
Good evening, everybody on the net. It's kind of cool down here in Virginia tonight. 40 degrees is what the thermometer shows, and it's dropping, so we may even see some of that white stuff floating around before morning. Not much going on over here. I will express what one of my favorite things to do with ham radio is early on I used to help the Bristol Club out with the bike races, and that was always interesting. And then the Mears Club, which I also belong to, we were asked to help out with the dog sled races. Now, if you know this part of the country, we don't get a lot of snow, so a dog sled race usually turns into a dog sled with wheels, and that's kind of what we did. But other than that, it was authentic. And I would put a APRS device on one of the lead sleds, and we could track it wherever and whenever it was. We did that for several years in a row, and we've also helped out with the March Down walks in various places as well. So I enjoy doing all of that. So I'll turn it back to net control. This is KD4CCO.
Okay, Dallas. Let's see. Up next was Rob, KK4WNG.
Thanks, Adam. Dallas, I don't know if it's such a club activity, but one of the things that got me interested in ham radio was scouting on the net and doing the jamboree on the air. Later on, when my boys were in scouts and I was a scouter, we had a lot of solid fellows in our Bristol area that would come out and show them the benefits of two-way radio. Always excited. You would catch their attention, young 12, 13, 14-year-olds. Out of 20, you'd catch one, but that one would usually become really, really interested. Really enjoyed seeing that. Back to you, Adam.
KE4W now.
Okay, let's see, we picked up KE4WML there. Bradley got you on the list. Were you you'll stick around for comments?
Yeah, Adam, sorry about that. I didn't hear anything on the repeater, and I just gave my call sign. I'm hearing you over on the QSL America, but not the repeater for some reason. Anyway, yeah, check me in. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt or barge in at the wrong time. KE4WNL.
Oh, no problem at all. We're as laid back as they come over here. It's all good. We'll put you on the list. We'll see. Let's see if there's anybody else out there we can rustle up here. Any other stations like to check in? Please call. Well, shoot, Bradley, I might as well turn it over to you at that point. Anyway, if you just joined us, our topic tonight is tell us about your favorite club activity, past, present, or what have you. And then, of course, anything else you'd like to comment on, you're welcome to do so. So you're our new tail gunner, so go ahead, Bradley. They may be having some technical difficulty again. I was having a QSO or monitoring a QSO with him and another fellow the other day that I think were coming through that same system and could only hear half the conversation sometimes. So we'll go ahead and see if there's any more check-ins, and then we'll give him another shot here in just a minute. Are there any other stations that would like to check in?
Highlight of my club activities. I always loved that. But sadly, that club, it fell apart in the late 90s, and haven't done a field day over there since. So, but yeah, that would be it. And presently, I don't belong to the club. Hopefully to change that soon. Well, this is up. Anyway, thanks, Adam. Back to you. KE4W.
Okay, Bradley, I don't know if I cut you off there or the system had a problem, but we picked you up about the point where you said that the club had went away there in I think you said the late 90s, but we didn't catch what club it was, and well, I think you did say it was field day was the activity, but yeah, part of your transmission cut off there.
Okay, W4AG, that's in Gate City.
Okay, Dennis, KW4AG, got you on the list there. We'll not sure what was happening with the note that Bradley was coming in on, but we'll check back in a minute. Are there any other stations that would like to check in?
KD4 WMX, Kilo Delta 4, Whiskey Mike X-Ray, Ken in White Lodi.
Okay, picked up KW4AG and KD4WMX, both in Virginia. Let's go ahead and go back for some comments. So KW4AG will come back to you, go back to you first, and then you'll pass it to Ken, KD4WMX, and then he'll be the tail gunner. Tonight's topic, if you missed that, it was tell us about any of your favorite club activities, past or present or otherwise.
At N4NT, KW4NT. Yeah, I think one of the special event stations I went to at Carter Fold was a lot of fun. And of course, field days. Still a lot of fun to visit different ones and all that. So that's about all I got. Go ahead, Dallas. K4WMX, KW4AG.
Well, good evening. This is KD4WMX in Quiet Lodi, and finally got through. Had to come back to the 400 and get on the 6.7 machine. But my favorite thing with the Mirrors Club is a bunch of things, but I'll limit it to we do the March of Dimes walk every year, and now we just started doing test sessions every other month, and we picked up a few hams there, and I enjoy that. And of course, just when we get to have face-to-face meetings at the meetings, it's good to see all the other hams around here that go to the meeting. But like everybody said, it's cold outside. I got about 40 degrees, feels like 36, and it's dropping. But appreciate you, Adam, running the net, and we'll turn it back to you. And for NT, this is KD4, WMX saying 73 to everybody.
All right, Ken, and I apologize to Ken and anybody else that may have got covered up when they tried to check in. Normally what I do is when I get around the check-ins, then I go back and open it up for just folks that I didn't come back to that may have been covered up, and they usually make sure everybody gets in, and I neglected to do that this time, but I got the message on NetLogger you were trying to get in, and finally heard you come in there, so glad you made it. So we'll go ahead and open it up once again. Are there any other stations that would like to check in? Okay. I'll make a quick closing comment after hearing everybody else's comments. Kind of made me think of something, another activity that I really enjoy doing that I wanted to mention was, and it's been mentioned by a couple, was the test sessions. That was, I remember getting my general and then my extra and sending off to the BEC that was being used in Bristol at the time. I got W5YI, and I think I ended up getting the ARRL. But anyway, that was one of my favorite things to start doing as well. I all too well remembered sitting in that seat taking the test and dealing with entry and upgrades, and I enjoyed helping others do the same. I've always had a saying, and I love being an instructor or in some capacity like that in anything that I do, whether it's my career with police work or when I was in EMS or fire or even amateur radio. Because my feeling is if you really enjoy something, you really are a part of something like that, there's no greater contribution than to give than to bring others into it and teach them along as you go. And I certainly appreciate those who continue to teach me things in the hobby as well. All right, with that being said, I will give out one more call for check-ins. Are there any other stations? Please call. Okay, hearing none, seeing none. Does anyone else have anything for the net before we close? All right, if all minds are clear, tonight's tally is had 5 states represented, 9 nodes at last check, and 20 stations checking in tonight. So good round number. Thank you to each one who took the time to check into the net tonight. And this is N4NT closing the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion net at 10:02 p.m. 7-3 and good night.